Angel Foot Massage, QuickBooks Video 4, depositing customers' money into the bank account. When you click on the deposit window, two windows will open. The front window is simply a list of payments from customers that are waiting to be deposited. Now, you should record the deposit into QuickBooks after you physically deposited the money into the bank. That's the normal proper procedure. Why? Because the teller must stamp the deposit slip, and the bookkeeper should be reading from the deposit slip and recording from the deposit slip into the QuickBooks. This way, you only click on the payments that are listed on the deposit slip. You should also note that it should be one deposit slip per transaction. If you have 5 items on a deposit slip and the deposit slip is stamped, you should not make 5 separate entries into QuickBooks. That's the wrong way to do it. The only proper way to do it is to record one entry, one transaction into QuickBooks, where you click the check mark on each of the payments that were listed on one slip. So it's one deposit slip with several payments, means you click on all of those payments and make one transaction. Before we record the transaction, can you guess which accounts in the trial balance will change? What do you think will happen to undeposited funds? That's right, it will go down because we have less on our hand. But on the other hand, what will go up? Cash and bank will go up by the amount that we deposit. Here's a question. What about the income accounts? Will they change when we make a deposit of customers' money? The answer is no. These accounts only change when we earn the income by performing the service, whether we got paid today or paid tomorrow, whether the money is deposited today or deposited tomorrow. We only have these when we earn the service, that they're not affected by a deposit. Click the deposit window and you'll notice 2 windows open up. Okay? This window is in front, and all you have to do in this window is click the check mark on the specific items that you brought to the bank. Click the check mark on the specific items that are listed on the current deposit slip that has already been stamped by the teller at the bank. Let us imagine in this example these 3 middle items are the items that were physically stamped on the deposit slip, and let's imagine that these are the items that we brought to the bank and that we're recording. So in this first window, it's very simple. All you have to do is check off the specific items that you brought to the bank and click OK. When you get to the second window, all it's going to do is confirm the individual items. Notice the check has a check number. It's going to confirm the total. The second window mostly just confirms the right bank account, confirms everything. The only thing you have to put in the second window is the date on the deposit slip, which is the date that you physically walked to the bank. So when I save this transaction, undeposited funds will go down by $95, and Citibank bank account will appear on the trial balance for the first time as $95. Save and close. See, Citibank $95, undeposited funds down to $195. The deposit detail report is already set up in your icon bar. This is the report that you need to look at if you ever have a question about a deposit. If you get your bank statement and you're not sure why a particular deposit is totaled in that amount, you should open this report, the deposit detail. Notice the format. You have the date of the deposit and the total of the deposit here in this thick black line. And then under the total, you have the individual items that were deposited together. You have the individual items that were listed on the deposit slip. Question: how many deposits do you see on this report? The answer is 2. You see the January 7th deposit, which should have its own deposit slip with these 3 items listed. Then you see the January 8th deposit that should have its own deposit slip with these 2 items listed. In order to see the individual items, you could double click right on the item itself. And in order to go back to the actual deposit, you can double click the thick black bold line and you will go back to the actual deposit in case any piece needs editing later.